I mean, I could hear you fine. But whatchamacallit,
There you go.
well, and this is why I just side tangent with this too, because I just saw their quote unquote live page or whatever, and I was looking at prices, and we've stocked retro games for a while now also, and a lot of them did look good,
Right.
but like, I mean, there's some of them, but they don't even have a complete collection, and
Right.
I'm wary like you, online only distribution of retro games, and unless I know you and can ensure the quality, more than likely you're getting a gently used copy, with just game disc.
Right.
And it's going to have probably some scuffs or whatever. A
Right.
lot of those CD-based systems, when I say a lot, hell, that was only Dreamcast. I mean, it's the CD-based games are finicky. So it's like you have any scuff or anything like that, you could be 10, 12 hours into a game, and then all of a sudden it locks,
Right.
and then it's done.
Oh, God bless
So,
you.
Thank you. See, I'm talking about GameStop getting me all itchy.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, and I just laugh because it's kind of like they got away with it because they were like, oh, there's not a market in this. We're losing space. We want to expand like into next gen and current gen games. And now all of a sudden, they're getting back into it. And it's like, you should just just leave a bin. I'd be more comfortable just having a bin of retro games in the GameStop. And that way I can look and go through and see what I want, not just at a dartboard,
I think, and if you guys couldn't hear us from the beginning because stupid me had the freaking volume muted, we're talking about GameStop and selling the retro games. Yeah, I mean, I don't like it. I don't like them dabbling in it.
Yeah.
And for those that do like GameStop, I'm sure you guys are very excited. I think GameStop is, I don't know. I just think they're assholes. I guess to put it blunt. I think there are a bunch of people that are usually hired there, just a bunch of assholes, and every time I go there, it's just a very bad experience. I'm not saying every guy in there and every girl in there absolutely have to be an asshole, but every single time I've gone in there, I've probably, out of the hundreds of times I've been into a GameStop, maybe I've encountered two people that weren't an asshole. And we deal with assholes every day in our places, but I don't need to be told what games I need to buy, what games I don't need to buy. That's the big no-no for me. Just don't tell me what I can and can't buy or what I should and shouldn't buy. Especially if I don't ask. If I ask, then I opened up that door. But it's inappropriate. I don't think that belongs in that type of place, especially if I'm giving my opinion of a game. But I don't think vintage belongs in that type of place. And if Best Buy starts selling it, I love Best Buy. Again, I don't think it belongs there. I think now the businesses are trying to capitalize on something that you should be able to capitalize on the smaller places. What are you going to see? Walmart? Walmart's going to start selling vintage games? I mean, it just doesn't sound right. They're gonna resell. This is what's really frustrating. We're gonna remarket a game that was already marketed, and that's what frustrates me. And the developer doesn't get any of it. Now, if we're gonna put these in the stores and the developers are going to get a cut from the resale, which is impossible to track. But if that was to happen, then I can understand because now these developers are getting money. But to provide the store with that same game that they could sell maybe 30 times and profit off it all 30 times, I find that awful. Like, how can you make money like that? And it just... I don't like it. It's the only thing that in the world that I know that a store can buy and resell a million times besides a flea market. But again, it's a flea market. You know what kind of quality you're getting. Another thing.
But even then,
go ahead.
Oh. No, I'm sorry. Even then, I'd rather buy a retro game at a flea market because you can find some gems in there.
Right, and you can, bargain the price. But I think that's them attacking the smaller markets. And I'm sorry, I can't oblige to that. And somebody can debate this with me all day. When it comes down to it, it's personal feelings. It's my personal opinion on it. And yeah, I mean, do I have an undying hate for GameStop? I do, but anyone that's known my GameStop stories, they know. I mean, it's not something that I just came up with and said, hey, yeah, I'm gonna start hating GameStop.
Yeah.
Like I have no reason to hate GameStop. Like what I do as a business is completely different than what GameStop is. I love them as electronic boutique. I love them as Funko Land, and then when Electronic Boutique took over everything, that's when I noticed it starting to go down. And then when they got rid of their retro games, that's when I was just like, no. But now you guys want to bring it back? Like, at one time, okay, I understood that it was in retail. Now, I don't want to see it in retail anymore. I don't. I don't want to see it there. I think you're better off keeping that stuff in the smaller. These smaller places aren't priced out of control. If you find someone that's priced out of control in the small market, don't go to them. I mean,
Thank you.
But what people don't understand is GameStop takes advantage of those uneducated gamers, the people that aren't really gamers. So let's say the moms and pops of the gamers. They go in there.
Buying for their kids.
Yeah, they go in there and they're being told to buy all this stuff. They buy all this stuff, and the kid's like, I don't know why you got me all this stuff, or they'll pay any price because they don't know the price. They're just like, I know my kid wants that, and that's exactly how they've made and survived as long as they did. There are a few gamers I know that are out there that are big GameStop fans, and it's your opinion. You've obviously never had bad experience, so that's good.
Oh yeah, and and I'm on that same aspect. That's why I don't like GameStop, big box stores generally speaking. Is the markup, and when I say big box stores, typically it's really only GameStop. When you resell games, is because you're marking it up damn near full price, and you only give people like a quarter of or an eighth of what they paid, And I like the fact that being able to have that additional option of going to a retro game, going to a small hole in the wall GameStop to buy retro. So I agree with you, my good man. But you know what? Let's get on a much happier subject.
Yeah.
We'll save the epic GameStop debate for when Andre's here, so he can enjoy in it.
Sounds good. So we'll get into my game. My video's already queued up, so if you don't mind, we'll get into.
No.
So my game that we're going to talk about is No Man's Sky. Now, there's not a ton of stuff released about this yet, but we've got to see a little bit more every single time, which you didn't get to talk at the E3 about the E3 with Sony and stuff, which I'll let you express your feelings. I think that's extremely important. But they did what I wanted them to do. They did exactly. As far as I wanted to see more gameplay footage. I wanted to see him pick up a controller and play it. That's literally all he did. So the facts that I do have that I got together is it's right now known as the world's largest sandbox game. So they haven't really. I don't think I've got a size or anything like that. But the way you can tell is it's got. All right, Chris. This is the exact name of. This is exactly how many. I'm not overestimating. This is what they said. 18 quintillion planets. Quintillion, that's 18 zeros. So that's an 18, comma, add 18 zeros at the end of that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's how many planets they have. So the galaxy is never ending. It's constantly being regenerated over and over and over and over and over. So they invented a code that invents a code to invent the codes. But something that people keep asking me, and I told them, I kept telling them I don't know. I've kind of lied. I guess I did know. What's the point of the game? And the whole point of the game is to reach the center of the universe. Now, one of the joys of that is you can reach it any way you want. You can take your time. You can speed through it. You can fly. It's all up to you how fast you go. How many people are going to actually try to reach the center of the universe? I'm going to guess maybe 2%. I think everyone's going to be just doing as much as possible. And this is one of those games that you're just going to do as much as you possibly can. Are they going to have missions? I don't know. I haven't read anything that said that they're going to have like missions or anything like that. I'm thinking that this is going to be more of a Myst-like game. But, Chris, I never got in the Myst. I played it for like 15 minutes and I had to get off it. Is there a point in cause to Myst? Like, do you read a notebook, like the notebook you read? Do you have to follow that and then all of a sudden do a mission? Or do you kind of just travel around?
Yeah. And for anybody that's ever tried to get through Mist, you actually legitimately have to get off the island. Like you woke up drugged, whatever, on the island, and you're trying to work your way to get out. Uh, it was frustrating. But yes, there was a roundabout point, and about 65 hours into the game, you really didn't care. You just wanted to get out of it. But yeah, no, there was. You had to get off the island for
Okay.
whatever weird reason you were.
Mm-hmm.
You were stuck on the island in the
Mm-hmm.
first place.
Mm-hmm. So pretty much it's kind of like this. Then your whole point is you got to get to the center of the universe. So
Yeah.
so in the stage demo that they presented at E3, which I said this last week, but I'll repeat it again. What they showed him on a planet, right? And then it showed him in the universe, and then he explained, okay, this is the universe, blah 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 blah. This is out here. You notice there's a sun. He's like, and then he backed out, and he's like, now you don't see the planet. All you see is a bright light, and that bright light is a sun. Well, every bright light you see is all suns. And let me rewind this back a little bit. So this is the beginning that they show in space, and they're fighting. So this is the part that he's explaining that every little bright light that you see is a sun, but every bright light, that sun that's there, is surrounded by we'll take it. It is okay. Every little bright light you see that's a sun is actually a galaxy. You know what I mean? So like a solar system. So
There
then he
you go.
comes back here and he shows more of the bright lights. You see a bunch of them, and these are all universes. All of a sudden, he just travels through, and it's just tons and tons and tons and tons, and it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
that shows the power of what this game can do. Another huge thing that you catch when he's flying through these planets is there's zero load time. Which is starting to catch on because the new Batman that came out, there's supposed to be no load time. So between scenes and stuff, it's all fluent. And look at that. That is amazing. Like look at that. It's
Yeah.
just it's crazy. It's like the real universe. Like that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny too because he apologized. He's like, okay, I'm gonna pick a random planet. We've never been to this planet. If the game crashes, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what we're going to see. And my brother was telling me a little bit about it, that I guess during the trials that they were doing, they kept going to, like, crazy planets. And they were worried that, like, people weren't going to like them because they were so crazy. So then he was a little nervous about it. But when he went to a planet, he went to, like, the most boring planet. Like, it just happened to be, like, nothing on it. So he's like, shit.
Yeah.
So it was like, instead of getting the extreme, like, he got nothing instead. So, but the game, I think this game is going to be the best game that ever existed. I think it's going to win definitely Game of the Year when it comes out, and I think it's going to be nuts. It's PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. I believe it's PC. I'm not 100% sure. Actually, I know for sure it's for Xbox One and PS4. So, but other than that, I'm not 100% sure. So.
I'm imagining they're going to release the PC after the console takes off, But I thought they did say they were going to support PC, at some point after it releases.
Yeah. I would imagine. So other than that, there's nothing really other than that, to be honest, about the game that I really can talk about. I mean, there's tons of creatures. As you land on the planets, you learn more things, and as you see through here, like he's walking through, breezing through, and it scans a bunch of stuff. So you get to unlock things too. Everything's destructible, which he's going to show here. Like he's going to show him them blow up this whole thing and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, now he's doing that scan. Oh, tell him about the sentries, dude. Like when he would start destroying stuff, like the people that guard the planet.
Oh yes. Yep. When you go in and you start destroying shit, the sentries come out. The robots come flying at nowhere. Yep, see, there they come now, and they try to protect the planet. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And get to go in the water. You get to check out creatures and shit like that. So pretty fucking cool game. I can't wait for it because I want to see discovered, and it tells you what it discovered every time you come across a new fish. Pops up on there. So I think what's going to be interesting is when people start trying to take over people's planets. I think that's going to be absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I was excited to actually start seeing some aspect of combat.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think how they may handle like PvP or maybe do like how Eve has it, certain systems that
Hmm.
you fly into are going to be competitive zones or
Look at
PvP
that.
zones. I think that'll be really interesting.
Did you see it? What he just did? It zoomed out and it showed some of the planet. And
As soon as you beat, oh. And you know what? I like the art style. Because we look at our Wind Waker fiasco, and it's just kind of like I've gone more towards the cartoonish, cell shaded, but this has like that nice blended, cell shaded, realistic
hmm.
look to it. Like they're not too cartoony. Like with the fish underwater, you actually saw scales on the side of the fish, so it wasn't just a color palette. And I think that really makes this game that much better because it allows you to have that expansiveness and that huge environment because you don't have to render everything so much.
Right,
So
right.
I think they did good with the graphics.
Yeah, kudos to that team. And I think it's a 9-man team. Is that what the final number
Yes.
was? It was only 9-man team. And not only that is the
Hmm.
game that actually lost everything the very first
Hmm.
time due to water damage. And
Yep.
they had to rebuild the game all over from scratch. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
Kudos
Especially
to
if
that team.
yeah, dude, it didn't happen on like Christmas Eve or something like that. It was just
I
one
can't.
of those times.
Yeah, one of those things that I probably would have committed suicide if I was any part of that team. I
Yep.
probably really would have. You wouldn't. It would have been the Patriots Giants game all over again. Like you couldn't talk to me for a couple weeks. Like just leave me alone. I
uh,
took all my vacation time. If I still worked at the other job, which if I'm working on that game, I highly doubt I'm working on another job. But I would tell
true.
everyone just to leave me alone. Like don't talk to
Yeah.
me. I wouldn't even tell them. I have to tell somebody else to tell them because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yep.
I would have lost my goddamn mind. So,
Yeah.
but all right, man. Let's get into your game, brother. That's pretty much it for No Man's Sky. We don't have a date. Um,
Nope. Next
and
year, more
yeah.
than likely.
So let's just keep plugging away. I imagine GDC they're gonna have more stuff to talk about. So
Hmm.
let's just keep paying attention. So,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
Fallout 4, my good man. What's the good word
Uh,
about Fallout 4?
this game is going to be fantastic. I mean,
Yes.
outside of the game, I'll start off with the collector's edition. Did you manage to snag your Pip Boy edition yet,
No.
man?
No.
Oh, man. You're killing me. You're killing
And it
me.
was funny too because I went on Amazon when you told me you did yours and it was already sold out.
Uh-huh.
And I guess there was an article about Target's taking them, and then I went on Target and Target was sold out. I wasn't going to Target, so I know I'll get mine. I'll get mine because
Okay. Okay.
I'll probably go to Best Buy and Best Buy I'm sure I'll be able to do it. And with Best Buy I'll get my rewards too. So
Well, but here's the thing: like they sold out like initially, because as soon as last or the show before last, I said I had my alert set on, and as soon as Amazon came up, hey, it's available, boom, boom, went and pre-ordered it. All of a sudden, like not even like 5-10 minutes later, like it was sold out, and they didn't expect it to, but Bethesda said they're going to start restocking the stores this week with another batch of it. So there's hope,
okay.
but. Um, Answering our question that we had before too is you only if you have the iPhone 5, 5S, 4, 4S, 6, Samsung 5, S5, or Samsung S4. Those are the only ones that'll fit into the pip.
So not the
If you have
note.
anything, nope. So anything bigger than those models will not fit in theirs.
I'm
But the companion app still works,
I'm gonna have to buy one and just to put in
and
there.
just use it for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Dude, I'm tempted to do that too. I'm like, can I add another line on my account? No data.
Oh man. Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
I remember we were shitting ourselves when they showed that. Like that was the coolest thing I
uh,
seen. I don't know why it was that big of a deal, but it was pretty cool.
yeah. And guys, if you don't know, Pip-Boy Edition for Fallout 4, it's the collector's edition, but it actually comes with a wearable Pip-Boy that you can slide in one of the aforementioned cell phones, and you can use the second screen experience, the Pip-Boy app, and use it like you would in the game. And it's supposed to translate in real time as far as, stats and things like that in the game. So definitely worth checking out. It also comes in like a cool looking case. I mean, you have a pocket manual you can read, I think a buff chart that you can put up. I mean, it's a nice little thing, but that wearable Pip-Boy for $120 is actually not bad considering,
Mm-hmm.
what it actually is, because larger ones you usually retail 150, 200 for. So, but yep, guys, check it out this week if you want to get your hands on it. Definitely this week's going to be the week to do it, because it will get more ridiculously expensive, the closer we get towards release.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another thing too, did you hear some kid, player saved up 2,240 bottle caps, like the in-game currency, sent it to Bethesda, asked them if he could use this in terms of buying it, and actually Bethesda honored it.
Really?
They're giving him a Fallout 4 game for the cost of bottle caps. The guy actually went and broke down the currency, and that's how he got it's going to cost this much bottle caps to equate $60. So yeah, some guy sent in 2,240 bottle caps, and they honored it.
Oh,
So you
wow.
know what? Kudos to Bethesda for that.
No,
Um,
definitely.
so now getting into the game. I think one of the first things we saw with this game was the character creation. I mean, it wasn't your typical, okay, here's your model turn. You get like 12 things you can do. This one, it actually took that one step further, because it gave you a more realistic creator. You're in a bathroom and you get male or female, which I think is a first for the series also.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like how they switched
Yeah.
it between husband and wife or whatever it was.
Yep. And no, and that's exactly what it is. The dynamic of how it starts off is you are husband and wife,
Mm-hmm.
and you can create both. So you can create both genders, and if you're a male, what you created as a wife will stay
Mm-hmm.
in the house. But you're standing in front of a bathroom mirror, and say if you're the guy, so you have your wife over your shoulder. If you cut your hair short, and you're like, oh, and she'll actually comment, oh, hey, you needed a haircut.
Yeah.
Or if you give yourself facial hair, you'll turn and you'll look. It's like, oh, okay, it's a close shave.
Yeah.
But you could pull your nose, and like when you're tweaking your face, your guy is actually like looking like you would too. I mean, I think that's really
I love that they
big.
got rid of the bars. You know what I'm saying? They got rid of the meters and stuff. It's just click and
Yeah.
drag, and I think that's
Yep.
I think that's awesome.
And I mean, the character creation is realistic too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. So it's not just like you're getting texture packs all over. I mean, you're actually seeing hair growth, nose, and you're pulling it, and you're seeing your skin pull contour with it. So that was real good. So after you spend about 4 or 5 hours into there, when you get into the actual main game, I've noticed, and what I've seen is this one is built on sandbox. Like they've really put a lot of focus with the weapon mods, the armor mods in it, and then doing the whole outpost civilization building. I think they did that, and from what I was reading, is because instead of just picking up random stuff in the world like we're used to, selling it in for a few bottle caps, rinse and repeat, they made it to where everything in the game is functional somewhere else. So, let's take the weapon customization. You can actually break that down. You can do scopes, silencers, laser lines. I think you can create different types of ammo. I'm not too sure about that. But it lends heavily to being able to customize your weapons to where if you even got this shitty starter pistol, you can build it out till it's actually something, fairly powerful. But the thing about it is, I like the whole fact they actually gave a purpose for searching for things. It's not just, oh, look, I'm going to get a whole thing on this and uh, sell it and
Yeah.
maybe get like 30 bottle caps or whatever. Same with the armor. I think we've always seen customization with the armors, and the thing about it is it's like they were just so plain Jane. It was just kind of like, oh yeah, you'll just get this type, this type, this type. I like what they did, whereas you can actually not only customize the look, but how it is building it out. You're layering different parts on there to increase your armor, your damage resistant. I mean, they went a lot more in depth to this, where it's kind of like, yeah, we have an open world experience, but now everything is functional in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also good. Gathering stuff for your outpost too. They realized that we're not going to have the inventory system for it. So they actually took it to where you gather big stuff for buildings. It actually goes into your workbench and not into your inventory too. So you're not weighed down by a ton of like heavy stuff to where like every 2 feet, you're overburdened or whatever, and you have to sell dump stuff.
Right.
So I really like that. Vehicles, I didn't see too much on there. Howard said that they're not looking to do anything other than what that birdie bird was, or that big flying ship we saw in the beginning. That's going to play a role, but we're not 100% sure of exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah, that was one of the things that he made sure because a lot of people had questions about it. Like, can you do that? Like, out of everything they showed, they were like, "What about the flying? The flying? Like, can you fly?" He's like, "Is that really what you guys took out of everything? Is the one thing that you can't do?"
Well, see, and that's why I like it, but at the same point, I think because we haven't seen it before. We haven't seen a lot with really vehicles in the Fallout series, or if they were very static.
I don't mean to change the subject. It's the same thing, but just because they're showing it, I will forget.
Oh, go ahead.
I love how they're allowing modding, because they said modding is such a huge part of their game that they love what people did. Is they're going to allow you to mod your stuff and actually import it into the game. That is awesome. That is awesome. You can actually mod on PC, and they said it is so customizable. The weapons it's ridiculous. I think this is going to be like a No Man's Sky. But it's going to be limited as far as you can't go to the depths of the universe, But it's like you have unlimited resources of things you can do. And like you mentioned, the one thing I really do like is all right, say to make, I'm going to say something stupid, a handgun, right? You have ingredients or stuff that you have equipment that you need to get. It's not just all this one equipment. They give you options of other stuff. So you're not forced to just get this one thing. You you can use this, or you can get this, and it can still build the same thing. I love that. I love that feature.
Yep. And here's also another thing, and we're seeing combat right now.
Uh-huh.
You have the ability to say if you want a specific piece of something, that you can actually flag it to this is what I'm focusing on, this is what I need to find.
Yep.
So I like how that, because it's allowing you to distinctify certain things, to where if I need it, maybe it might highlight, because they didn't actually say how that will become relevant, but it's one of those to where it at least allow me to focus on if I want this specific mod, not just, oh God, open it. Oh, is this? No. Okay. Open it. No, this is it. So this is actually allowing me to stay, a part of the game.
Right.
Now with the combat, this is a new thing that I like, that how you have your crit percentages when you zoom in, but also you have a crit bar that guarantees you a crit. So once after a bit, when that little green bar on the bottom fills, like you see it right now, that you get an automatic crit. So it's like you can save it up. So if you have a boss fight or a deathclaw coming, you want to do that headshot with a crit, you'll automatically have that.
That's cool.
Obviously within your percentage high enough too. And what gives me hope too, I knew that combat looked a lot more fluent. They actually worked with id Software about how the combat plays out. Yep. And they also worked with Bungie also too, about working with some of the combat, how they want it more arcade, fluish, and not as sluggish as always.
That's going to be interesting, because I think with Bungie, how Destiny, I think Destiny is one of the best shooters that I've played as far as control-wise in a very, very long time. It had a Halo-ish feel, but not so much. That was one of the things that I loved the most about Destiny, was just the feel of the controls. So.
Yeah, and that's what I like too, because it was simplified controls, which is definitely nice. If first-person shooting is not the only aspect of the game, so I think that's really big.
I love how you can go to third person. That's cool.
See, and that was another big thing too. The weather, they actually have ambient weather in there, and you can not only just have it rain, but sometimes radiation storms will come.
That's crazy.
So that plays also another dynamic. And what's it? Yep, did the combat and all that. What is it? So with the this goes along with the second screen with the Pip-Boy, is that they have Bethesda created the Radiant AI system. So, and that entails more to the settlements that when you start developing a settlement and the decisions you make in the story will affect your settlement as far as either people joining or raiders attacking more. So if you play more probably like the good guy, you're obviously going to have more people go to your settlement to be safe. Or if you're playing a bad guy, you'll have raiders constantly attacking your stuff or whatever. So I like that whole dynamic. And it's also they're playing it to more of a moral system to where you make a wrong choice, it's not automatically game over. It arcs the story differently. So you're not always hitting that, oh, okay, reload, reload, reload. So that was definitely nice. Gives it a little more fluidity to it.
Yeah.
Um,
I definitely did like
what?
the colony stuff. It seemed
Yes.
like you can go off the hinges with that, like as far as how much you want to build, and I think this game's going to entail a lot of time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everything stops this year. Last year it was Dragon Age, so this year November it's going to be Fallout 4.
And that was the
And
surprise too, was how soon. Like I wasn't expecting this year at all,
yeah, and what they said when they released it, the game was practically done.
which is
You know,
insane that they were able. Because I mean, they talked about it 2 years ago, and they were saying how they were taking it from Boston and blah 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 blah. So I thought that was really really cool. So
yeah, but and I like the way Bethesda handles themselves because they talk about it,
oh, he was
then they
cocky as
continue
shit.
working on it. He is, and he has every right to be.
Oh, he went up there like a boss.
He did. He owned it. That was very well done.
Yeah, I think performance-wise, stage presence, he had the best one of this
Oh,
year.
yes, yes. Oh, and speaking of modding, dude, they're talking about. So we've got the green light for modding for PC, modding for Xbox One,
Mhm.
and we're just waiting for Sony to give the okay to have modding come to the PlayStation 4.
Mhm.
And another thing they're doing, if you want to mod, it actually creates another save file. That's like a modded one, so you can play in the modded environment, but always go back to your traditionary game. So I do like that. But man, we're at the grips of Sony. Um, Waiting for them to give the okay
Yeah.
to give Bethesda the ability to open up the developer. I don't really want to mention this because I hate this game, and I hate it off the principle we can't get it. But Fallout Shelter is the app if you don't know about it, and there's no paywall, no stamina limit, and the game is fun. But what I heard is there's really no length to it or depth.
Mhm.
So at first it's okay, you're struggling to survive, and it's funny because you don't know when you're going to die, and oh my god. But after a while, when you start getting situated, then it just becomes yawn fest, and like you become overpowered. So I'm hopefully they do something in the future, give it an end game, give it a longer play value, and just bring it out for Android.
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean that's Fallout 4. That game is going to definitely be a beast, and that was just the information that I could pull right now, and I guarantee you probably some will change, maybe not with it almost being done, but it's definitely going to be a game worth checking out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it, and I'm hoping that it's gonna end up coming out good. So, but we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? We all have hopes and dreams.
That we do.
Hold on one second. Let me just update something real quick. Okay. Yeah. So since we got 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left, what did you think about the PlayStation Sony conference all in all? Like what was your feelings for it?
I liked it. You know what? I still think Sony did it correctly. And it's not so much being a fanboy, but that's how game conferences need to be. Like across the board, they did everything well. I mean, all the conferences, but Sony, I mean, they got right to the games. So they eliminated the numbers talk for the most part, but we saw a lot of the games that we wanted to see,
Mhm.
and I think the what won it for them with me, Last Guardian and the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Okay.
Not what I got hysterical with you about, which is the reboot coming in October, the PC port, which I'll probably still play, um, but the full reboot, and I think that was one of probably the industry's best kept secrets. But it was just overall their presence. I mean, they showed the games, we wanted and the games we knew about, but it was just kind of like the indie games. It was just, I don't know, it was just overall impressive. I mean, I wish there was Morpheus information. I wish there was No Man's Sky information.
Right.
And the Vita, I kind of wish they may have like said memory card reduce or third party. Just stop making it proprietary. But honestly, dude, I'd have to say I'd give it a 9.
Okay.
9 out of 10 for the Sony one.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I felt the same way.
Hmm.
And I think they blew me out the water. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So to see what they pulled out with was absolutely awesome.
Yeah. I mean, dude, we definitely weren't expecting the Final Fantasy 7. Like, we knew the last Guardian. We not joke about it. The show before last.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
no, they won't do it. Nah, they won't do it.
Yeah. We
And
did.
then, actually, it was the show the night of. So it was kind of like, it was one of those when we were sitting there and we were watching, we're like, no, 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 no. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. So, and what's cool about that, they're not just doing a remaster. I mean, they're saying they're taking pretty much the game, going to realistic, but it's almost like a rebuild per se. So we're not just getting an HD remix. So I think that's cool, and I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
I'm still, I'm still debating on what. All right, I'm overly excited about Final Fantasy VII. I think Final Fantasy VII was the best thing that they showed. All PAX. I mean PAX E3. Loved it. Think it was great.
Yeah.
I just number one thing is just all the stuff that we dedicated to it, and to see it finally happening. It's a great thing.
Yeah.
As far as what's going to happen from it, like how are they going to design the fight system? Now that the hype is over, now we know that it's coming. Now it's time to be realistic with it. E3 is over, so let's talk about what this game could be. Are they going to completely remake it? Is the battle system still going to be exactly the same? Is it going to be, turn-based? How? What's everything going to be? Are they going to rewrite the story? Are they going to change certain aspects of the story? So now I think is the time. Okay, now the game is going to start asking all these questions.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I wouldn't be mad if they did everything exactly the way that Final Fantasy VII was designed at first.
Yes.
I wouldn't be mad if they just, enhanced everything, made it better, like as far as visually. If I played the same exact game, I'll play it. Fine, I'll play it. The story's not broken. Don't fix it.
Yes.
If they change the fighting system, I'd be interested in seeing how. Before I get judgmental about it. If they do it like 15, I do like 15, but I don't want to see that. I want to see the game be rebuilt exactly the way it was.
Yeah.
Turn-based system, everything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's one thing I don't want to see them do, and I know they're tweaking it, and that's ATB is synonymous with 7. I mean, it's just. No. Okay, don't touch the battle system. I would like to see exploration. Let's say 13. 13 was a decent game.
Okay.
So let's take that level. Okay, give us how the battle starts. Exploration like that, but just take the mechanics and bring it over to 7.
Okay.
That's what I want to see. But don't give us a Crisis Core. Don't give us 13, anything beyond there. I mean, just keep that game. That was the last of essentially the core systems. I think 10 was theoretically the last one. But just let us have our active turn base. I mean, focus on other things. I mean, the graphic overhaul. I mean, open up the world. Give us more. Give us more of 7. I'd be happy with giving us the game, but giving us more regions to explore, maybe a little more dynamic to the story. I'd like maybe get into Aerith's backstory a little more, So, I mean, there's a lot they could do different, but still leave the foundation the same, which I agree with you. I hope they do. I would not be so lenient to say I'd be interested to see what they do with the combat, but, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see. I'm interested to see what they got in store, what they have planned up their sleeve. Okay, Final Fantasy, other than Final Fantasy VII, what would you say was the favorite thing, the most The best thing that you've seen at E3, Final Fantasy. You can't say that
Damn it.
because we already know it's Final
I mean,
Fantasy.
that's a tie because I'm almost gonna have to lean it to The Last Guardian or Fallout 4. Um, just doing a recap. Oh nope, Kingdom Hearts. Um,
Really? You were that pumped about
no,
Kingdom Hearts?
no.
Kingdom Hearts was awesome. I'm not gonna take anything for Kingdom. I was pumped about Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean? But
Yes, but my buddy and he brought it into perspective too. It could have been better because it was very reminiscent of the first Kingdom Hearts. But I see because they didn't necessarily bring out a polished game. They wanted to show the scale of it. Like
yeah.
it was huge, and
Oh
I'm
yeah.
hopeful for that. I wouldn't put it in my top contender just because like I wasn't impressed with it. I was happy with it, but it wasn't like Final Fantasy. It wasn't Last Guardian, Fallout. It wasn't something no. I'm sorry. Horizon.
Okay. Now I noticed
Yeah.
I noticed something you did there. You named everything from the Sony conference.
You know what? That's enough out of you. Hey, okay. You know what? Since you brought it up, I mean, Halo looks fantastic. Gears of War looks scary as shit. Okay, Nintendo. Well, it's not even
Yeah,
good.
that didn't
Nintendo
happen.
is Mario Maker.
That didn't happen.
No. Okay, ban. If Horizon was a cross-platform title, I'd say great. Okay, but no. You know what, man? You pick a game that looked better than
Okay, see,
Horizon.
you already made a mistake. You saying game. The second best thing that I seen at E3 was HoloLens.
Oh, fuck you. Okay. You got me. Okay.
Not even the backwards compatibility, HoloLens.
No.
What HoloLens showed was, I talked about it all last week, so I'm not going to go too into it,
No,
but
yeah.
absolutely mind blowing. I'm still taken back from it. I can't fathom that there's a piece of technology out there that can do something like that. HoloLens would have been number one if it wasn't for Final Fantasy VII, and the only reason why Final Fantasy VII is because of the hundreds of hours that I've spent into it. And yeah, I said hundreds.
Yeah.
Like the clock starts at 99, and I maxed it out a shitload of times. So, yeah. So with that being said, HoloLens. But Horizon, I'm very, very excited for that because of the fact of it's a new IP. It wasn't one that we were expecting. It looks badass, smooth. Just everything about it looks good. This E3 all around was awesome. Minus Nintendo, I think Nintendo's was an epic fail.
It was
epic fail. Which I think next week's episode. Andre really wanted to talk about Gears, so we're going to give him a chance to talk about Gears. But I think we're really going to talk about Nintendo and what we feel they need to do. Because I think it's important that we really cross base with that. Me and Andre got into it a little bit last week. I feel, and GDC is going to determine all this. If they come out with nothing at GDC, if they don't come out with slap in your mouth type of product or presentation, Nintendo's going to be the next Sega, and I don't want to say it, but they didn't want to show Zelda. Star Fox looked. I mean, it was great. They announced it. Everyone's pumped. They announced it. It looked like it wasn't even finished.
64.
Yeah, it didn't even
look like the Wii game.
I was so confused. Like I was pumped because I was like, Star Fox, yes, there's a good way to start it off. But then when I went back and watched it again, I'm like, I don't know.
It wasn't. Yeah, you couldn't tell what system it was for. Like if you just saw gameplay, even if you said, "Here's Wii gameplay," you wouldn't have questioned it at all. Nah, dude, I'll go one step further and I'll say Metroid. I think they need to release it. Like people were pissed that they didn't get a legitimate Metroid.
Oh, dude, that's bullshit right there. Like that's freaking whack.
And to talk about we're not even going to see a Metroid until the NX comes out. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like you can the one system that could perform well with Prime series.
I don't.
You're just going to overlook it. But yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe Nintendo. I'd like to see Nintendo with their next one. And I know I'm bleeding into next week, but like a HoloLens type thing,
Yeah,
because
I'm
the
telling
only
you, come up with an emulator that
Mhm.
it plays all the regular Nintendo games, but they won't because they sell those games. You know? Oh, dude, I didn't even mention this. We got to get into this next week 'cause I forgot about this. What about who did it? Hold on, give me a second. What game just came out? Oh, the Destiny, right? What they're doing is you can buy if you buy the $60 Destiny game, right? You get
Mhm.
the is it Destiny? I
Yeah.
believe
Are you
yeah.
talking about
You buy
the
$60 Destiny game, right? Which is the
uh,
expansion pack, and you get all
yeah,
the secret dances, you get all the clothes, and you get everything for free, right? So now
yeah,
the people that have bought all that stuff already, like, oh, actually already own the game, and because
uh-huh,
that's what it is. If you buy a $60 game, you get all that stuff, right?
yeah,
So people that already own the game but don't have all that stuff, all they need to buy is the expansion for $40. They're like, okay, but I'm spending $40, I don't get any of that. I don't need the full game. They're like, okay, you
yeah,
know what? This is what we're gonna do for you. You buy the game for the expansion for $40, and for $20 more, we'll give you all that stuff. Um, sir,
oh God,
sir, that's still $60. That's still that's still $60. So you just took all my money already, and now you're saying so people are pissed. People are so pissed off right now at Destiny. It's unbelievable.
you know the thing about it is, and because I didn't buy it, I was like, ah, that's a pretty good deal, you know. But then I'm like, yeah, maybe hindsight that might suck for all you guys.
Let me
But no,
see.
I could see that. I was like, yeah, because they offered a ton, but you know what? That could be foreboding because to offer a package like that, something may be up in the background, you know, like because it may not be doing as well as what they were hoping. So that's the only way you release one, two, three games bundled with the new game and then wrap everything into it. I mean, that's how all legendary editions need to be.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of kick your other audience in the face with that. Um, but dude, that's a double-edged thing because you really can't fault people that haven't gotten it to want to get into it at this point because on the other end of that, it's like, oh, if I want to play, you know, the new one, the King. Well, now I got to buy the game. Now I got to buy another game. Now I got to buy another game. Like, wow. So I like this aspect, but it's kind of like if I'm not getting any more perks than you guys, but you're still spending 40. I know, I see. But then Destiny should be $20 now, anyways. Okay, you know what? This is all next week. But yeah, okay, fair enough then.
Listen to this. This is foul. I'm out. Bungie are now a total travesty and are taking the piss completely. Not the way to reward a loyal fan base. Completely disgusting. And the attitude in this interview is impossible to like. Even if the base game had been anything like a complete experience, this would still be an utter disgrace. The saddest thing about this is that he's right. They can basically get away with anything and people will still pay. So
Wow.
people are pissed. People are pissed.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I do feel like the first game I bought, I feel like I didn't get sold a complete game. Like I feel like I'm playing it,
True.
and that was one of my things. I said I love the game, but then I'm like, but I
Yeah.
feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I was like, but maybe it's just not complete. And all of a sudden, expansion, you got to pay for it. And I'm like, but you didn't finish the first one.
Yeah.
You gonna keep going with the first one? Because I'm still waiting for the rest of my content. You forgot to download the. I think the rest of the game forgot to download. Like, you know what I mean? It's like them stopping the game
Yeah.
at download at 50%, right? They stop it, and they're like, hold on, before you download the rest of this, you gotta pay us another $59.99. You're like, but I just bought it. You just stopped the download. That's all you did. Like, I thought I paid for a full game. What do you mean? So, yeah, people are pissed
Yeah.
off. That's why I didn't buy the
Yeah.
expansion, man.
No, and that's why I didn't. Hey, and what did I tell you when it came? I'm like, that's why I was holding off. I was holding off, and then something like this happens. What, 2 years later? A year later? So it's kind of like, but yeah, we'll see what they do.
They're gonna give this shit away for free. Yeah, Battlefield, every expansion free. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what somebody was telling me at the lounge. I shouldn't splur out things I didn't do research on, but I'm.
Well, no, you know what? I'll go one with you. I heard that with Black Ops 3 for the PlayStation. Sony, if you buy the game on there, you're getting all the map packs.
Really?
Yeah. But once again, this is speculation, people. Don't take what we're saying right now for concrete.
EA offers Battlefield veterans free Battlefield Hardline DLC. Pick up an old Battlefield game and earn free DLC on Origin.
So that's just Hardline.
EA offers Battlefield veterans free Battlefield Hardline DLC. EA has announced a new Battlefield DLC pack available exclusive to players of older Battlefield games. The Veteran Pack is available to anyone who has Battlefield 2, Bad Company, Battlefield 3, or Battlefield 4 on EA's Origin Surface and includes an in-game Veterans patch, 200% objective boost, and a 200% team play boost. Both boosts will last for 30 minutes once it activated. I have Battlefield 3, so I'm wondering, but when was this? Oh, this is in February. I don't know. I got to do some research on that, boys and girls, before I make any more comments on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Battlefield 3 DLC. Yeah. So we'll keep you posted on that. I'm interested. Oh wait, Battlefield 4's Future DLC completely free. So people still play Battlefield 4?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they will, dude.
So yeah, so that's what it is. Battlefield 4. All future DLC for the game will be made available to both premium and non-premium players completely free of charge. So, what about Hardline? Did no one buy Hardline because of Battlefield 4?
Hardline was anticlimactic. That was like anyways, moving on. Hardline didn't do as well, and it was like it wasn't as pumped up as what they were making it.
I mean, I have Hardline, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean,
really?
I thought it was
action-packed LA Noir, give or take, from what I heard.
Yeah. I think some of the features were in it that they added were cool, but I don't know. To each his own.
There you go. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it.
All right, man. Was there anything else you needed to cover on anything?
No, I actually think we did pretty good wrapping this up.
Yeah, good. Yeah, almost on time. A couple minutes over, but we started a few minutes late, so
it's all good.
Yeah. So this week, what's going on at the lounge? Don't forget to catch our Sudden Death Smash on Wednesdays, 8 to 9 on Twitch. You can also check it out on our webpage and stuff. And that is sponsored by Boneheads Unplugged in Fall River, as well as PDP, Performance Design Products. Nobody can ever say that right. PDP, Performance Design Products. Awesome controllers. They're giving us some headsets too. I can't wait to check out the headsets, see how those are. So excited. Friday is our very first weekly for Smash Brothers. So come down, check it out. $3 door charge, $10 entries to enter singles, and $10 entries per team for doubles. So nice. Cash prizes, obviously. So, but come check us out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So next week we're gonna beat up on Nintendo a little bit and hear a little bit about Gears of War as well when Andre returns. So looking forward to that. But we'll catch you guys next week, 7 to 8 on Mondays. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Later.